get started. Hello, everybody. Oh, I don't know. There we go. Wheel is working. All right. Welcome to Spa. It's been a while since we drove the Super Formula car, but it was high time we get some open wheel action. So, even though Spa was this past Sunday, we're doing the Belgian Grand Prix. Oh. No big deal. It's only practice. But yeah, we're doing Belgium. We're in the SF23s. We're not exactly in F1 machinery, but just want to see how we get on with this. Now, I have been having a decent run of things here in MPM's F1 series. I've been predominantly mid-table, so I'm curious to see how I get on with this results-wise, you know. A little bit long there. Could be a lot quicker. But this is only my outlap, so it doesn't really matter too much. Alright, so during practice I've been predominantly getting around 156s. Don't think that's going to be front runner pace, so we'll see how this goes. Down Eau Rouge, up Radion. Turned a little bit too hard there. I could probably straighten the car a little bit more. Shave a couple hundreds off. Because if you can get Eau Rouge and Radion perfect, the run you get onto the Kemmel Straight will be amazing. Oh shoot. Uh-oh. 5-minute warning, so what that means is we're probably going to have to leave this lobby in a short bit, get into the prescribed room, and then we'll go from there. So we'll probably only have time for about one lap. That was so awkward. I consider track limits. Don't think I really gained anything from that, but I don't know. Uh, 157.2. I think I can maybe sneak in a second lap. Oh. Turn 1 is already bad. see if this is an improvement. Uh-oh. Really binned it on Puan. Yeah, half a second behind. This one's not going to be anything. Actually, wait a minute. There's one thing I want to adjust here. I want to adjust my... Just maybe pop up my... Wait. Yeah, let's put it on 5. 5 and 3. Let me just see how the car feels before we start getting ready to move out of this lobby. Well, we'll be able to figure it out on the other lobby. Oh. Just wait a little bit. Wait, who in my friends list is in this room? Oh, Handsome Frank, yeah. Just keep mashing the refresh button and hopefully we can get in. So come on. I'll just give it a minute. Just drink a little bit. Get some hydration in. Thank you to the partners over at Dubby for sponsoring me with my hydration. Of course, if you want to give Dubby a try, 10% off anything you order, just use my code. Use my username, Jetherite. Goes a long way. I might as well use up my tickets while I'm waiting. Alright. Porsche body kit upgrade. Not really something I'm gonna need. All I want is credits. Okay. 30K, I'll take it. Give me that big stash of... It's never gonna be that. 10K? Yeah, 10K. Alright, cool. I believe this is our port of call. Friday Funduro Racing. Okay, So the difference between this race and, let's say, the real F1 event, less laps. So this lap is only 40 laps compared to the 44, I believe, of the real event. Wait, what is the other car that we're allowed to use? Ferrari. Okay. Oh, hold on a sec. I had a tune for this, but the thingy's gone. My sheets are missing. So give me like a few minutes to put up the tune that I used. It was here somewhere. Sorry, I just gotta allow through YouTube.
Okay, sounds great right now.
That ad's in the background. Bear with me. Okay, so let me try this. So we're gonna bump up the front downforce up by a bit. Okay. Not allowed to mess with the transmission here. Alright, so bring the rear body height down a bit. Put all the anti-rolls up by 10. Same for compression damping ratio. For expansion, we want to go to 50-50. Gonna lower the rear natural frequency to 5.0. 1.8. Okay, so far so good. Bring down the torque a bit. Lower the sensitivity a bit. Lower the braking a bit. Well, a lot of it. Alright. Can I fix the anti-lag system? Can I make it strong? There we go. Alright. Let's see if this translates into a better feel for the car. There are some people coming out on track, so I'm just gonna move aside, let them through. Alright, so what were we looking at before? 156s? Oopsie. One second truck penalty. On my outlap. It's fine, whatever. Also, the wheel feels a little bit better now. Oh boy. So, taking poo on flat out was definitely something that wasn't caught by the other guy. Yeah, you could take that turn flat out. No brakes, no lift, just push. I can't brake at the 50 board. I gotta brake before. Maybe just after 100. Because the thing is, with these cars, you can be a little bit later on the brakes and you can get away with it. So I've been pushing all my braking points 50 meters forward compared to the like to my normal braking points. Oh, I could have gone a little bit more, I think. Okay. Connection issues there. I just showed up in front of me. That's not worrisome at all. I think I'm gonna back out after this this lap, just so that way we have a gap. I don't trust this poor internet. Okay, I think we've actually, I think we're actually working now. Bro, I think we're actually racing. So, oh, there was a, Yanni, there's an open beta for Tokon? Okay. So that's a no on giving Tokon a try? Gonna stick to what works? Because I know they were trying to scratch that Blaze Blue or King of Fighter. Well, not really a Marvel. Only until Sunday? Oh, okay. But as of right now, do you think it's as a viable title as it is right now, or do you feel like it needs a little bit more time to cook? Oh, shoot. Okay. Let me back out of this. It's great technically, but in terms of like long-term viability, no. All right. Yeah, because when I first saw Tokon, it was kind of it gave me like the team aspect of a Marvel vs. Capcom or a King of Fighters with the flashiness of Blaze Blue. Because, well, obviously it has that type of DNA, because Tokon is being made by Arc, right? By Arc System Soft? Or Arc System Works? I can never get their name quite right. Alright, that 158 definitely can't get better. Well, hello to you, Fernando. Yeah, it can be very, very tricky. As somebody who... Wait. Oh yeah, Tekken it. Because it's very much like a. See, the thing is, it's very much. See, when it comes to like racing games, like sim titles, there are obviously their little intricacies, their unique bits, but it's pretty much, you know, one size fits all in a way. But fighting games definitely not, especially with a game like, especially with an Arc System Works developed game, how their fighting style can get. This is somebody who played a lot of Blaze Blue back in the day, albeit on the 3DS, but, you know, I nearly destroyed my circle pad playing Continuum Shift. Oh, did they make it more approachable compared to other titles that they made? Well, I can imagine they would do because of the IP, you know? Because that game is going to attract a lot of casual players. Just from the IP alone. Okay. So it's basically just like how, yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna be like, something you can toggle, you know? Because like, for example, Street Fighter 6, you have your classic controls, but then you also have modern. And then you have the simplified controls. Yeah, I think that's ultimately the... That's ultimately going to be the play. Are those the moves that kind of end with you swapping characters? Because I know it's a team sort of thing. Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah, because I know, Arc used to do this for Blaze Blue, where you can have a setting where it'll just give you like a preset combo. But yeah, for a preset combo that ends in a super or an ult, it's actually pretty novel for them. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, most definitely. Because I think that's been a major driving force for fighting titles in recent years. You know, obviously we're gonna keep things as standardized, as intricate for the veterans. How approachable can we make this game for new players? You know, that's always been the thing. Although, growing up, my favorite fighting game of choice was always Soul Calibur. Oh yeah, exactly, right? And that's also, and it really does also play into their styles a bit more. You know, the fact that you map out an attack button just to each limb as opposed to an attack type. It throws things a certain way. Uh-oh. Zach, do you mind letting me through? Ugh. Not sure this section is actually being done correctly. I feel like I could maybe take the first part of the Fania chicane flat out and then lift. I'm gonna try to experiment with that. Oh, I went deep. Dang. Ah, no. That sucks. I was actually doing so well. Because you're not just learning the moves, you're just also learning the timing, because you want to get those juggles on. Like, I tried my best to climb the Tekken ladder when Tag 2 was a thing. And I tried that mine, I couldn't really get much. Don't get me wrong, I got a lot more disciplined with like spacing and stuff like that, but I just couldn't juggle for the life of me. Because if you can juggle in Tekken, then you're pretty good. Okay, nope. You can't lift for Fanias. You gotta brake. Oh, right. Sir, do you think you can move aside? Thank you. Also, I can't keep up with the whole season pass format that they've done now with characters. I only want to buy, like, there are only a few characters that I really want to get when it comes to like DLC, right? And I know when Anna, like, I'm speaking about Tekken 8, since we're talking about Tekken. I know all the hubbub that came out with when Anna was brought back. You know how that patch went, apparently. But yeah, and it really sucks because with like going back to the season pass format for these games, it really sucks because I never want every single character in a season pass. I really just want like 2 of them. Yeah, they're very expensive, you know? Like, and they rarely go on sale too. I just want to buy like individual characters. Right. Because I'm at a quandary where I'm like, well, maybe for Tekken, yeah, but where I'm complaining the most about this is Street Fighter. You know, because I don't really play much competitively. I don't play online that much. I really just enjoy single player. That's why I love Street Fighter 6 so much. And also, Blaze Blue when it was a thing, there was so many single-player modes available, so that just made it more appealing to me. Yeah. Because, like, right now, yeah, because with Street Fighter 6, like, I really want to get Terry and Mai, because I grew up. Oh, that was too early. I did not need to go on the brakes that early. This is already compromised. Because I grew up a King of Fighters guy. You know, I used to play a lot of 2000, of 98, 99, 2002. So I have a soft spot for the SNK crew. But I don't want to get everybody in that season pass that they're in. So, and then I'm kind of feeling the same way with the most recent one that was announced, you know? I really just want... initially, I just wanted the latest season pass for Street Fighter just because of Tifa. But now that I got to see Yasmin's gameplay, I'm just like, wait. She's from my country. I want her. Yeah, you can do it in Tekken. I know that for a fact. But I kind of wish it was more so in other games. I think the game that I really wish would make a comeback, though, in the fighting game realm would be Soul Calibur. I would love to see a new Soul Calibur in this day and age. You know? It probably won't happen, but... Oh, yeah. Because, like, adding a new character is, like, fundamentally changes the landscape, you know? Kind of like how in hero shooters or MOBAs, you know, adding a new character in those types of games can change the whole landscape of how the game is played competitively. You know? I should know this. I used to play a lot of Overwatch. So... you know... But yeah, monetization is really weird. Because, you know... absolutely. You know, you got your joke characters, you got your grapplers, you got your spacers, the guys who like to mix up. You know. But it's just the tuning of it too, as well. You know. Starting to find my groove over here. 155.2. Oh, I think he touched. I think we touched. Yeah. Also, another thing about unlocking characters in some games. You know, I don't remember if this is a thing you can do in Tekken, but I know you can unlock characters with in-game currency in Street Fighter, but that is strictly only with multiplayer. Oh gosh, sir, you didn't have to do that. If I'm not mistaken, the currency you can use to buy those custom characters for free is only on multiplayer and competitive. You know. And I'm just like, can I please have a single player option to get these guys? And it really goes to show this, like, how live service has really hampered games as a whole. I'm not paying attention. I'm all ears. How was that a 2-second penalty? I goofed up my lap. How is that? Why punish me harder for this? 155.5. Exactly, right? Because that's what made Street Fighter 6 so enjoyable for me, even though I'm not really a Street Fighter guy. That the World Tour mode really did do a lot in helping that, and that's also why I'm super excited about Virtua Fighter. You know, with Crossroads. How they're handling their single player campaign, basically taking a like a dragon approach to a fighting game. Yeah, right. It's also a low stakes environment for people to get better. You know. For example, I can wholeheartedly say that Street Fighter Soul Calibur 2 is one of my best fighting games that I'm good at because of Weapon Master mode. You know? Because of how that was played out. So stuff like, oh come on, I'm moving aside. Stewards, you're drunk. Right. Also the way that they're doing season passes nowadays with DLC, like let's keep core people. I don't want to say like legacy characters. Keep them out, and then how do we throw in guests? You know. Don't get me wrong, I do like a guest character here and there, as long as it makes sense thematically, but I don't know, man. Explain to me why Negan from Walking Dead was in Tekken 7, and why we have Clive in 8. I do like me some Final Fantasy in fighting games, but picking the wrong characters. Right. Yeah, I genuinely think it's going to be a breath of fresh air in terms of like what single player content can, how that can actually play into a fighting game. Of course, it's still pretty early Also, now that I think about it, RGG Studio is working on so many things, right? Because obviously they're working on Virtual Fighter, but they're also still doing Stranger Than Heaven, which I'm also super excited about. Would you believe that they're like they're handling my two most anticipated games so far. Alright, that was awkward, Jack. I know that wasn't intentional, but wow. Just gonna try to finish up this lap and then... Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm personally excited. I'm excited for both. See, my main question with Stranger Than Heaven is... How are they gonna justify throwing Tupac into this game? Exactly, yeah. Don't get me wrong, I like how they leverage, you know, using likeness actors and stuff like that, and the scope of who they're bringing on is steadily increasing, but there has to be a, I don't know. Cause see, part of the, oh gosh. Part of the thing when it comes to more recent RGGs is the need to, you know, be goofy. Don't get me wrong, we do love me some Majima themed shenanigans, but I'm kind of interested to see how Stranger Than Heaven kind of like pulls away from all that. I definitely think they're gonna have some moments, you know, of humor and some lightheartedness, but the main thing I'm really looking forward to Stranger Than Heaven is the tonal shift, you know? How different it's gonna be. But, I don't know, we'll see. Because I know most of the gameplay has just been focused on like the combat. Totally fine, you know. I agree. I really like how the combat is looking. But I know they haven't really teased, you know, the city life and the side content. I know one of the I know a big focus of the story is based on show business, you know? Basically, like, big bands, concerts, stuff like that. Basically, you're, like, a side thing is that you're finding sounds to sample, so you can make music out of it. I'm curious to see what they do for side content. Yeah, there, for all the good, there are some bad, you know. I wasn't really I felt like Yakuza 5 was great, but it dragged on a little bit at times. Right. I'm curious to see how they handle it, because I'm pretty sure like the early parts, like in the 1910s, it's just a case of how much care, how much equal time. Like, will it be equal time? You know? Because I wouldn't be surprised if we go reuse, you know, the reuse Gagotoku, you know, if like the final age, the 1960s gets the most prominence because of the fact that it's in Kamurocho. Same for like when they're in Osaka for Dotonbori. Oh, Sotenbori, I'm sorry. Ah, cha. Alright. I'm going into the pits. You know... Wait, I don't know if this is the actual tire wear. If this is the actual tire wear, then holy cow, I'm getting a lot of laps out of these mediums. Oh, sorry, these softs. I forgot what chapter it was. I remember, I think it was Yakuza 3, where this became a meme. The plot. Right. It can get, yeah, there, especially, I know there was, one of the things that kind of detracted from Yakuza's, earlier Yakuza games is the, right. And also the hand-holding nature of early chapters too, to facilitate that, you know? Don't get me wrong, I do love me some linearity, you know, to help push things along. But sometimes those exposition chapters, they get a little bit all over the place. That kind of also force you a certain way. Right. It's like, because with Yakuza 0, right? Once they found, or actually, no. Hell, we can even trace this as far as Yakuza 4, right? As soon as they realize they can do a multiple stories, multiple protagonists, and just have them converge for the finale, it kind of like throws everything off. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm curious to see how they approach this also with the single voice track too. Have I played 7? Yeah, I played 7. Funny thing is, I never finished it. I played it like 3/4 of the way through. Oh, shoot, I missed my breaking point. Ugh. Alright, into the pits I go. Let me change these. Ouch. Yeah, 15 laps. Right. I don't know if they've learned their lesson, especially because Infinite Wealth didn't really help much either. Right. And the thing is, I genuinely think that they forgot that they have two protagonists instead of one. Like, I honestly feel like Ichiban was kind of on the back burner. Like, I know that we got Kiryu back for this one, but come on. But yeah. I'm very interested to see how they handle this without any of the established cast, you know? Oh yeah, absolutely. Because in my estimation, you know, how that game played out with 7, you know, I was really invested in, like, seeing Ichiban really grow. It's like every game they have to get more bombastic with it, you know? If I'm not if I remember correctly, wasn't the whole like climax of 7, not 7, 6, you have to stop like a hidden submarine from launching? Right. Also, the fact that they're A-list. They're A-listers, you know? Which is crazy because Namba is a likeness actor. You know? He's an actual actor. I kind of feel like they're yeah, there was just... Yeah, they were kind of thrown in there, but Namba especially was the one that kind of got me, because usually you don't bring back a likeness actor for multiple games. They're usually just like the novelty one-off. That's, you know. Hell, you can yeah, Sawashiro 2. Right. See, at the very least, when they reuse likeness actors, it's usually for like side content, you know? Like, for example, with Yakuza 6, you know how we had the all the current day New Japan wrestlers like Okada, Tanahashi, Naito, all that stuff. They were central to their plot in 6, but Kiwami they were brought back. Kiwami 2 they were brought back, but just as side content, as DLC. I feel like that could have been the thing, you know, just really lean into the new cast like Chitose and the others. And the fact that Adachi's voice actor is still working with them, you know? Well, because Adachi's well, it's not his character. but his voice actor is voicing one of the new characters in Stranger Than Heaven. So I'm just like, damn, they're getting a lot of work out of him. I didn't even play Kiwami 3. I have Pirate Yakuza. Like I'm really just consigned to Pirate Yakuza just being, this is just the side story for the meme lords, you know? The guys that just saw Majima and is like, we just want goofiness. Don't get me wrong, I love him. I love that guy to death. But it's just, to me, Pirate Yakuza is just comedy game for meme's sake. I don't know if I'm wrong for thinking that, but you know. But they didn't really do much. They didn't really change much of Kiwami 3, did they? Especially considering how. Yeah, because they've grown so far. The way I kind of see it is like they've grown so much that they don't know what to do with the extra resources they've been giving. They just says, how much bigger and goofier can we make it? Right? And that's kind of the cautious optimism I have with Stranger Than Heaven. I was just like, okay, cool. Otto, Snoop, Higedanism, you got some good voice talent, singers, because there is like a show business element to it, but then just throwing in Tupac for like virality's sake. You know, that's my worry. I think he's not actually there because it actually makes sense. It's just for lol, we put Tupac in a game in Japan. Right? There will always be a place for Yakuza silliness. It's just there has to be it shouldn't be the main focus. You know? I know you cite Last Judgment as the way, as a thing, but you could even say that like Yakuza 0 was kind of the, well, I don't want to say 0, but the ramifications of how 0 got popular in the West. Yeah, I mean, getting Bunta in there is, you know, eh. Alright, oh shoot, I forgot. There's going to be an ad break in a few short minutes, guys, so just be aware of that. Don't stress too much, I'm just going to be doing, One second. Alright. Forgot about the ad breaks. Sorry, guys. Wasn't aware. We've just been doing our thing. Alright, so this lap is no good, but thankfully there's no damage, so I can just back off so I get back the time that I gained from that. Now we need to redo this and lock in again. Alright, welcome back. Sorry, I mismanaged I lost track of time. I normally like to do my ad breaks in the action, so if I realized that if I knew that it was going to be happening soon, I probably would have like taken like a minute or two out of qualifying to just sit and not do anything. But I think we'll be okay now. Alright, 2.14. Of course, that's because I made a mistake on Malamudi. Let's try this again. I think we got about 3 more laps. Oh, hit the ball hard. Alright, but let me see, what were we talking about? Now, this could be an issue. Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you on that. Because I loved Lost Judgment as well. My worry is that the fact that they've really grown in scope, and the fact that they're working on 2 big budget games at the same time, makes me wonder if we're... I don't know, there's a possibility of a diluted product for both. I just hope that they don't, like... And because they're both in concurrent development with each other, I just hope they don't... Virtual Fighter and Strangers Within Heaven don't end up being nerfed because of it. But hopefully if both games... I don't know. Because, especially considering that we now know that it's meant to be like a prequel to the Yakuza series. Exactly, you know? Because now they have a finite, because they have a finite date for it, so they have until January. Now, obviously they could delay it, you know, give it a few more bits, but a little bit more time, but I don't know. Because both games that they have, because both games have been like, oh shoot, I got lazy. I'm careless. Oh, that was an improvement too. That would have given me P8. Oh man. Track limits are gonna kill me. Oh yeah, 5 is like the big problem with that. Which is a shame because 5 had some of my favorite music in the series. You know? Because, see, part of why I like... Oh, yeah. Definitely 2. 2 is my favorite story. You know, with Ryuji. With yeah, bring Ryuji. The fact that they would bring him back for side content showed how popular he was. You know? Oh, and when you think about, like, Yakuza silliness, let's not forget about Dead Souls. Unless we're actively trying to forget about that game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was relatively, like... And it was allowed to breathe, too. You know? I felt the pacing was just right for that. Alright, so P10 originally, right now. I know I have the pace to make it to the mid-table, so... This P10 is only because of the compromised lap I had earlier. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Kiwami 2 also did a good job about it as well. You know, updating some of the things about it. Yeah, and they still... Yeah, and they still learned to, and they still were able to get some silly bits in, you know? They still had... They still had time to throw in some Majima stuff. Oh, 154.0, but I'm not gaming. Dang it. But I can take solace in the fact that I've actually been gaining time here. Because when I was doing practice for this on my own, I was like in the 156s, so the fact that I was able to get 2 seconds of pace out of practicing, Right. Now, it's also why Stranger Than Heaven is, because of, you know how, because 2 is what essentially established the Omi Alliance as like a major force throughout the entire series, you know? And I'm curious to see if my theory for Stranger Than Heaven is we already know that the main character of that game is gonna be the founder of the Tojo clan. I wonder if the other guy that's the lead, the character that Dean Fujioka is playing, something tells me that he's gonna be the guy that would end up creating the Omi Alliance. Something tells me, you know? Get some parallels between Kiryu and Nishiki. Something tells me that's gonna be the case. Ah, dang it. Yeah. That's... Mm-hmm. Oh, right, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still remember that one guy from the Tojo that he basically bailed Kiryu out, or was a help in the original game, was turned into was basically a double agent in 2. I remember that one guy. I forgot his name, but but he was an ally of Kiryu's in the first, the original. It was Terada. Yeah. Okay, P9. Let's see how this plays into things. Mm-hmm. Because don't get me wrong, I think that was the game that really justified the Kiwami series. You know, remaking. Because I know how good, like, the original the first Kiwami did a great job of, like, updating the first game, like the original, but how they upscaled Kiwami 2, really good, yeah. And now we're gonna get in. Now that we're getting into the PS3 era for the series to be remade. It makes me wonder, I'm just like, what can you really do? You know? I think that was one of the main problems with Kiwami 3. You know? Because of how recent they just upscaled and re-released it on PS3. Oh. On modern consoles. Oh yeah. They've had some issues. Especially considering especially with Zero, because you're flip-flopping between characters, right? Your first 2 chapters are with Majima. Your next 2 are with Kiryu. You know, because now not only are you gonna have to, like, get the ball rolling on their current chapters, but you kind of also have to, like, catch people up that may have forgotten what have happened 2 chapters, you know, before. Especially when you're starting out, you know, because you're introducing Kamurocho, you're introducing Sotenbori. So one of the problems with I think RGG games in general is the hand-holdy nature of the start, you know. Whereas the sandbox nature of when the game, like, really opens up, that's when I kind of feel like the game really takes off, you know. Oh shoot. They're gonna have to reset this lobby, so I'm gonna have to play around with some stuff in a bit. Thankfully I have a screenshot. Alright, so real quick, I'm gonna have to play with the settings here. Oh wait, no, everything's good. Everything's kept. Wait, or not. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I gotta redo everything. So give me like 2 minutes. I just gotta play around with my tune. I'm gonna use a tune that I got from this one YouTube video. Okay. Just need to up the front downforce a bit. 1400, lovely. Am I able to mess with transmission? No. Put my brake balance to the rear. Voila. Okay. All right. Setup is good to go. Okay, makes sense. Now, I can also understand why 7 has a lot of problems, because you're kind of, in a way, it's right. And I feel like with 0, you don't really need to do as much, because you're dealing with established characters already, you know, and it's kind of just like, oh yeah, by the way, in case you don't know, this is who he is, but there's a lot already existing where with the series that you don't really need as much exposition, but you're dealing with a predominantly new cast with 7 as well, you know, because it's essentially a brand new, like you don't really get the legacy characters until the final third of the game. So yeah, you kind of have to oh yeah, definitely, because we're running 2 concurrent stories, you know? And that's why, like, anthology, I call them anthology games or ensemble games, they don't really do as much, even though, even if they try their best, you know? I'm thinking of other games with an ensemble cast, like Yakuza 5. Right? Because you're trying to weave 5 different stories all into one overarching thing. But then I think of like something like Resident Evil 6, you know? How that, how the fact that so many multiple stories all working in tandem with each other really did, like, throw things off. Yeah, it's like the lore dump, you know? Alright, come on. Uh-oh. See, now I have a question from me. So, we established that we can get at least 15 good laps out of this soft compound. Oops. Now I'm in the mid pack, so I'm not really sure how much. I'm not really sure how much I can get out of this this compound. But Viper, thank you so much for the follow, much appreciated. Welcome to the P1 paddock. All right, 155.5. I'm only the top time because everybody else is just fumbling about, taking their breaks. I'm just doing my thing. Getting some extra practice in. Wow. Should be noted, the dubby that I'm drinking tonight is not. It's not the energy powder. It's the hydration one. So. You know what? Let me just. Ugh. So much of the world building is. Yeah. Because now you gotta think about how much of this like reining in the scope. How much of that can you attribute to Nagoshi, you know, about his leadership, you know? Because ever since he left, this is kind of like, and the new directors took over. This is kind of like how the game, the series as a whole, and their design philosophy has gone, you know. So, I feel like you don't really, you know, because part of the charm of the older games was just how much you can do in just a condensed space, you know? Because now, now that the locales that you're going to are a lot more broad, a lot more open-ended. Yeah. I was about to, like I was saying, some parts of the game are just strict railroad, you know? You can't do anything else. You can't fumble about in the city. You gotta stick to the path, you know? I don't know, my right index finger is like really strained. I think it's because of the upshifts I've been doing. Alright, but tune should be okay. I think what I'm gonna try to do is personally I was able to get 20. How many laps should I do on this? I'm gonna start on the mediums because I'm in mid-table. But what I want to do is, I think what I want to do is I want to maybe 15 laps. 15 laps on mediums. Then try to do 25. I don't know. maybe a 2020 split. I'm trying to figure out my tire strategy right now. Because that entire practice session that we did before the quali, we were able to get 15 laps, and I still had a lot of tire life to go. So I think I can maybe try and chance this and go 15-25. I'll do 15 laps on mediums, rest of the race on softs. I don't know. Depending on how things go, I might be able to do a 2-stop. Probably get Stranger Than Heaven when it comes on the sale physically. Yeah. I mean, I personally use GameFly. I have a GameFly subscription, and I have Stranger Than Heaven as my game lock title. So I'll get a copy like on release day, so a physical copy on release day. So, and then if I decide I want to keep it, I'll keep it. I'll just buy it at a discount. You know, that's what I've been doing with a lot of my physical titles recently. Just use GameFly, and then if I like it, I'll buy the game, and then they'll just send me the box, you know? So, I did this recently with Octopath Traveler for the Switch. I did it for Monster Hunter. Probably gonna do the same thing with Resident Evil, because I just rented Resident Evil Requiem. Yeah. Yeah, it's like with their games, it's like, when can the game open up for me? You know? It's usually not the first 2 chapters where the game like becomes the pseudo open world title that we know and love, right? It's usually like the first 2-3 chapters is very much exposition heavy, set up the world, and then once you're like chapter 3 or chapter 4, go have fun, you know? But even then, they're just like, okay, you've had your fun, but this is as far as you can go. Get back to the main story. So, some of the side content that's part and parcel of all this, you can't go without story progression, so. Just waiting on them to get the ball rolling. All right. So I don't think we could start until these 2 guys hit the green check. Right. Don't forget, there are like other methods of storytelling too, you know? As far as I'm aware, I don't think they really utilize like... I'm not gonna say anything. Right. Also, do understand that environmental storytelling is very much a thing, right? I noticed most of their plot, most of their exposition is through cutscenes and conversations right? But I don't think we really use too much. I don't think they really utilize too much. What am I gonna say? Like files, environmental stuff, like background things as well. Right? You think about how something like a Resident Evil or a Silent Hill builds on the world using files and other stuff. Give me just like 2 seconds, I gotta go step out for something. But I'll be back for the start. Okay. Right. Couldn't this be an email? Mm-hmm. All right. Are those guys able to stick to start? I don't know. Well, never mind. We'll race without them. Okay. Let's see how this goes. So I'm P9. All the best. That was incidental contact, I would think. Alright, whatever. I'll take the 2 seconds. It's just one of those weird racing incidents. Spinner! Whoa. Yeah. Alright. Good moves so far, yeah, but I got this. Oh boy. Alright, P9. God, I really wish I didn't have this 2-second penalty. Alright, I have it all to do now. This really sucks. I'm back down to P14. Well, somebody's going into the pits. Is he gonna go deep? Hit that overtake. Beautiful. P12. Compromise run up the hill. Should be able to get him on pace. There we are. Alright, I gotta be a little bit careful because I've not used this compound before. All my running has been on the softs, so it's something I'm gonna have to quickly get used to. Alright, silently catching up. Yeah, made a mistake there. Yo, this Turok guy's been all over the place. You gotta understand that there are some people here that are not normal MPM racers that are here just because it's a Super Formula race, so. Oh. I'm kind of underestimating the downforce on these things. What's going on here? Well, you're off. You're not going to be a problem for me. 3-second penalty for Dark Draco. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to find the sweet spot for it. Alright, there we go. Alright, that guy just decided to leave. Pretty sure he was just a visitor, so. Alright, so what are we looking at? 3.6. I don't think I could do Kuan flat out with the mediums. I think I have to lift a little bit. I also don't know what everybody else is using compound-wise. I think the vast majority are using softs right now. 56.4. Alright, somebody ahead is parted. I'm now P9. Back to my starting position. Alright. 5.6 to the car ahead. For what it's worth, these mistakes where I'm running into the bollards, they're clearing them out, usually, so I can just cut those corners next time. A little bit of overtake to push up my 6th gear a bit. Less than a second on this guy, well before the 100 meter, so we can get a clear run in. Some of that boost. Exit as well. Making good time. Turning a little bit too much on Puan. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Ah, that sucks. Let's go softs. I gotta get this damage fixed anyway. All right. If I can get up to P9, then that's my goal. P9 is my goal right now. Get back to my starting position, despite these hiccups. Go. woefully out of sync. So I don't think this is gonna last until the end of the race. So we may have to do a two-stopper. Alright, tires are a little bit cold, so we gotta get these up to temp. Deterioration 10.5 and dropping quick. Oh shoot. I'm doing way too much with these. It's these curbs with bollards that are killing me. This is my It's my GT car coded brain that's making me do these mistakes. You know? I'm usually attacking the curbs, but you can't do them in these cars. You can't do them in open wheelers. Alright. Luckily, they're taking a stop, so I can overtake through the pits. Avoid the curbs. Gotta avoid the curbs. Just keep it in the black stuff. Alright, Dark Trago is 20 seconds away. I don't have to worry about revving the car. There's no fuel in this race. Getting underneath 20 seconds. What are we looking at? 19.1 and growing slightly quicker every lap. All right, 155.9. Not bad. Now we got the lovingly named Everyone Poos up next. They just took their stop, so they're on fresher tires than us. But they are 12 seconds away. The nature of how I'm driving these softs, I don't think I'm going to be able to hang on for the entire race on this compound. You're probably going to have to go into the pits and get another set. Now the good thing is that I've done my mandatory stop. I've done my compound change. So when these things go, if I want to, I can just put on a set of new softs. And I can really be quick. wireless there. What are we looking at? 11.4? Shoot. Just gotta turn my brain off and just drive. Alright, the 1/4 part of the race. Whew. Just gotta stay awake. That was a problem that I had last night when we were doing LMU. I had problems staying awake while racing. 11.6 to the gap to the car ahead. Stay on the higher gears. They don't twitch. Highlights heavy. Ugh. But I gotta start getting a move on because the guy behind us is about to get lapped by the leaders. Sorry if I'm not being as chatty. I'm very, very focused. Also, once you get into a rhythm, you just become very, very zen-like, and you just shut the brain off in your race. So it's kind of what I'm going for right now. 10.3. I got my entry to Puan wrong, so I could have gotten a few more tenths, but now that I'm 9.8, we're okay for the meantime. 9.3. Alright, 9.7 for the car ahead. From Longchamont. Let me see if bus stop could get us some extra time. Might be fighting somebody for position because despite my mistake, I'm still gaining. That's the fatigue starting to set in for me. Starting to make some silly mistakes. Can't let this happen. on. Two. Now, I think for the Fania chicane, that the right-hander to left, I'm thinking, I think I need to brake a little later for those turns, because I'm usually doing it before the balcony or that billboard thingamabobber. Sorry guys for yawning so brazenly. I normally cover my mouth, but so focused I can't really do that. I know it's not very gentlemanly. Alright, 9 seconds, come on. Now, I am being shown blue flags, but I would rather they try to catch up with me at a certain part of the track. Not here. One is such a quick circuit, part of the circuit. I would not want them there. Hopefully that does not give me a track limits penalty. Alright, I'll just be shown more blue flags. Trying to find a decent place to move aside. Don't shoot. Alright. Well, that's one way to let him through. I forgot there's no... On this compound there's no braking. Just go straight for it. Oh, somebody has departed. I think it was Draco, the one that decided to leave. there were some people in the pits recently, so let's see what that has done to the dynamic. I don't think it's done much. Alright, so we're 8 laps in, and this is the state of our tires at the moment on the bottom left. It's not ideal, but this can last us another 5-10 laps at the very least. Okay, starting to make some headway on the guy ahead. Our lovingly named Everyone Poos. It's only 8 seconds. Also, I need to fix my chair. So Draco was the one that decided to DNF. So I'm up to P12. But I have done my mandatory pit stop, so I'm curious to see what everybody else does. Less than 8 seconds. Coming for everybody poos. Or everyone poos, I should say. It's not something you would normally hear in a race. We're slowly chipping away at them. Try my best to keep my eyes engaged and see, it's not like I can just let go of my, let my vision wander. It's really tough to do so. Just watch the rejoin. This thing is pretty good tire-wise. We're almost 10 laps in. And the tire wear hasn't caused any problems. I actually think I could go to the end with this. It's worth a shot. well. Oh. Alright, I keep... this late at night issue is starting to get me, you know? I'm making errors that I probably would not make if this was done at like 7 o'clock. So I think something's got to be done for me to be able to stay awake and not make those silly errors. Also, there is an ad break coming on. I apologize. But bills gotta get paid. Yeah, these are fine. If I could do 22... I went in on lap 11. Oh, sorry, 7, right? These are 11 laps old. And that's the expected wear. I think I can actually get about 30 laps on these things. Snipes through. Then we'll let me go on. Man. I'm gonna tough it out. Let me see how one lap with this damage goes before I consider having to go into the pits. So far, I don't feel any issues with the setup. Alright. 10.7. I think I gained some time, unless the guy ahead had some problems. Okay, so he's in the pits. I'm gonna gamble on this. Just just gonna go. I think I'm gonna stay out and try to make this damage work. Alright, P11 for now. I got almost a 12-second gap on the guy behind, so let's see if I can weather this storm and... Oop, guy ahead of me is pitting as well. Alright. Not quite losing, but not quite gaining on the guy behind. Alright. 23.5 seconds to the guy ahead. More importantly, I'm worried about the guy behind, you know? I'm just hoping that he doesn't catch me up. With a healthy car, that's no debate, but with the state of what I have right now, maybe not so sure. Gotta get my body working again. Alright, I'm quietly catching up to Rich. It's slow, but it's steady. But I think it's only a matter of time before I'm under siege for P11. 9.5. Oop, yellow flag. Somebody is stopped. Rich has stopped. I will take that freebie, thank you. Alright, I gotta see if I can build upon that gap that I just got. But Mr. Poos is slowly but surely gaining on me. Oh shoot, not paying attention. Get back on track. I don't know if that's track limits, but we'll see. Part of me wonders if I should just pit now, give up the position, see if I can get it back later. Give me some clean tires. Give me some new aero work. That will be good. I think I'm gonna go in this lap. Gonna go in. Get new softs on, repair, and go. This will definitely. Oops. So we'll be at lap 24, so that's 16 laps to go. We're definitely gonna be able to last to the end. Decompress a little bit in my head. Okay. See yellow flag out. I don't know what for. Slow driver. Rich has decided to park it in a very disadvantageous position. Alright, I gotta get these tires up to temp. Since I got fresh tires, I can really have a go at it. So, let's see. When I get to the Kimmel Straight next lap, I gotta go fix my seat. Uh-oh. I'm trying to fix my seat because it's out of position. I don't want it to slide back. Can't fix it. Just have to get on with it. Alright, 15 laps to go, I just realized, so... Oof. We can do this. If I can get back to P10, I'll be happy. Good thing is that I don't have anybody, like, overly behind me. I got a lot of time before I have to think about being lapped again. Should probably start using my overtake. You know. Oh, I just took a position. Lobster has decided to disembark. So P10 is now mine. Too hard on the brakes there. All right, 16.2 to the car ahead. Is a yellow. I think everything's alright now. Nope. Well, that's a back marker, so there's nothing to worry about for me. Alright, 16.8. My gap. 15.9. I think I really need to just learn to steer less. Uh-oh. Another person has dropped out, so I'm back to my starting position on P9. Damn, okay. Is this going to be one of the cases, just like Canada, where because of people binning it and just abandoning the race, I end up with like a top half position? If I didn't have those, if I wasn't falling asleep and I didn't have those mistakes earlier, I think I'd probably be around like P6. What are we looking at? 6.4. Now, thankfully, the guy behind me isn't catching up, so... At one point, he was like 27 seconds behind, so... Glad that that has gone up a bit. Alright, 15.5, that's my gap. I want to try to get to maybe the 15.0, maybe the 14s. I want to try to get maybe half a second every lap. Try to go for like a last lap overtake. Go. Starting to get somewhere with my pace. Trying to push now. Come on. 14.1. All right, 155.3. 10 laps to go. We're almost there. I know it's the late end, and much of the positions on offer are kind of long gone, but it's good to see that I'm finally finding my pace. I'm finding my consistency. Point 11. Guy behind me is pitting as well, so let's not use overtake in that area before Puan. I nearly overshot it. Thank you, my friend. Alright, 13.7. Over a minute ahead. I could use my overtake here, though. Alright, 13.4. That's our gap now. I reckon at the pace that I'm going right now, I should be able to catch him before the race is over. Come on. I need some sort of incident that'll get me right back into things. Like a DNF or a crash. This lap has not been good. We're running low on time to catch him. Sorry. Track limits? Come on. Did I really gain an advantage by going onto the grass like that? I don't think so. And that sucks because it looks like he made a everyone made a mistake, and I just made 3 seconds on him. So with my prediction for overtake, that mistake that he made puts me a little ahead of schedule. But this track limit penalty is gonna kill the momentum too. Dang, you got that 3 seconds back as a result of me taking that penalty. Ah. Alright, 13.7 has kind of fallen backwards here. Whew. Stay awake. That's all I need to do. Stay awake, stay focused. I need to start having coffee on my side at all times. Especially if we end up doing races this far into the night. Not the most ideal, so... Still not gaining anything. Running out of laps, but we're in our starting position, so any positions gained from this point onward is a bonus. Overshot that one. But we're looking okay. The most important thing is that we're okay. Keep it out of the wall. Because we're not doing any more stops. This is it. There's no point in pitting at this point. Laps to go. Actually, it may not be 5 laps. I'm lapped, so I'm at least a lap down, maybe 2 laps. So even though it says 40 laps, realistically I may have only 38. So possibly 3 more laps. Let's see if we can finish strong. let's see here. 14.7. Got some pace back. I'm now 13.5 again. Come on. I'm trying so hard to lower this gap. Good result right now, but if I can get one more, if I can get P8, I'll be happy. All right, 13.3, that's the gap to the car ahead. Get it out of the source. Come on. I might as well use the rest of my overtake. I 12.4. Hey, hey, Manny. Party of 3. How's everybody? Welcome along, everybody. If you guys are coming in from Manny's stream and you maybe don't know who I am, my name is Jet. I'm a variety streamer. My specialty is racing games. We're playing some Gran Turismo right now. Hello, hello. It is a chibi raid. Hopefully everybody had a good time over on Manny's stream. Manny, if you can hear me, what were you playing? Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize that I was making a few bumbling mistakes in that last sector, but I have been catching up. I'm now 10.1 to the car ahead, so I have about 2 more laps to try to get this position done, but who knows what can happen. Hit my overtake button. But yeah, just to introduce what we're doing tonight, we're playing some Gran Turismo. We are joining our friends at MPM Racing for a mock version of the 2026 Formula 1 season, where tonight we've been doing the Belgian Grand Prix here at Spa. Now, obviously, we don't have real F1 cars in Gran Turismo, so we're making do with the Japanese Super Formula cars tonight, which are still pretty fun to drive in their own right. Yeah, hopefully you guys had fun with Manny's stream. What did you guys play? Come on. 7.4. We're making up time. but I don't think we have that many laps to do so. I know it says lap 40, but we are 2 laps behind actually, so this may be my last. Next lap might be my last. Alright, it isn't. Let's keep going. Alright, 7.2 seconds. It'll be a miracle if we can overtake him. Because of the luck I've had so far tonight. Right, 7.1. See this braking zone. This section can help me gain a little bit more. It's definitely helping. But I don't feel I'm gaining quick enough. 6 seconds. Down Puan we go. Where are they? I can hear them, but I can't see them. Oh, this will be a crazy, crazy miracle if I can make it. Not need that. Because at one point we were 15. Oh no! Why? How is me going onto the grass getting an advantage? There's no advantage from going into the grass. No, this sucks. This sucks. Oh. This is our final lap. I think he's gonna get bailed out because of this. See our target up in the distance. Come on. Congratulations to our race winner, Azriel. Oh no, I did not need to hit the brake. Our climb has just gotten short. I think if I had an extra lap, if I had the full 40 laps, I reckon we have him. But this penalty is killing us. Oh, man. One more lap. I just need one more lap. Mind you, we still had... Don't let the 9 out of 10 fool you. We had a full grid. We had 16 drivers, so I'm actually 9 out of 16. Darn. Unlucky. But I'll take a P9. Okay. Let's just wait for Max to make it to the line, and then we'll be done for the night. So how many people at DNF? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people fled the scene. Alright. P9 is the result. And we get a roulette ticket for our troubles. Can I save the replay? We're not able to save the replay? Dang. I'm just gonna give Max, the host, some love. Thanks for the raise. Take in some time. Alright, let's head on out. Oh, my back. Body hurts. Okay. Rest, relax. We have to do a lot there. Okay. But thank you everybody who's coming in from Manny's stream. That pretty much is gonna call it for the night. I'm gonna be switching racing games tomorrow. I'll be going over to Le Mans Ultimate. We're gonna do our thing with daily races. We're gonna be playing some GT3s over there. We'll try to get some races over at Imola, so that's something to look forward to for tomorrow night. Now, as for a raid, I want to see if we can give somebody some love, some eyeballs. Is there nobody that I'm following live right now? I don't see anybody. I don't see anybody that we follow that's on. Alright, so I don't think we're going to be able to raid anybody tonight. We will definitely try to raid somebody tomorrow, okay? But thank you guys all for coming by. Thank you for the follow from Viper, Manny. Thank you guys for raiding. Always good to have you guys on. Even though you guys only came on for the last few laps, still great to have you guys regardless. Alright, leave a follow on your way out if you haven't done so already. Do so on the YouTube as well. I'm also simulcasting. I also do YouTube as well. So whether it's on Twitch or YouTube, send a follow, send a like, help me out. See everybody tomorrow. Take care.